welcome to a new video. I know it's taken me a bit to upload a new video, but I mean, always with Christmas, it can be hectic and crazy, and then you have so many activities to do, and people to visit, and things to see, and gifts to buy, and gifts to wrap, and it's been hectic, but lovely hectic. And I thought that I would make a little video showing you all the work that I have done in the month of December, and as well some snippets of things that we have done. We have seen some very lovely things that they have going on here for Christmas. It's a very lively, culturally lively place to be, and there are always nice events and concerts or markets that they have for Christmas, and so I thought I would take you along and show you. Okay, so I thought I would show you guys on my messy desk, I have so many things on this desk, some of the work that I have done during the month of December. I have 3 different sketchbooks here that I've been working in, and then I have also some larger sheets where I have been working on. But I thought first we would start with the sketchbooks. I have discovered that I have transitioned from different materials and returned to different styles of expression and styles of art throughout this month. I initially thought that probably December would be a month where I would be very inspired by Christmas related things, but turns out that that had changed throughout the month. So first off, in this little Royal Talent sketchbook, I started out the month thinking, oh, it's Christmas. I am definitely going to be participating in a Advent challenge. There were so many on there, and I found one with just 5 prompts that I thought would be really easy and cute, and I could create like a little narrative. I created the different thumbnails of like grandma with her granddaughter and how they loved animals, and the grandma would just treat the animals just like family. There was a little pig that they found and they adopted into their little family. And I was going to create, depending on the prompts, the little scenes with all these characters. And so I started creating, little drawings of pigs. This is all with gouache and with the Inktense pencils. Here, this was from a Patreon session with Emma Carlisle, where different people that are patrons of Emma submitted old winter family pictures. And so this is one. I really enjoyed it. Then this is me when I was sick sometime in December, like a sinusitis or so. I was just playing with acrylic gouache. And I painted this elf, even though I really messed up the face. Here, these proportions are off. But I really rediscovered my love for acrylic gouache. Here, I'm using mainly watercolor or the Shinhan Pass, the hybrids. And I was creating this little mouse narrative. Because I've always loved drawing mice. I've done it for years, especially in winter. I find them so cute and adorable. And so there was a prompt list for, I think it was Open Beak, that was just 1 week, I believe, of prompts. And so I was just drawing the mouse. I did it here, and in the larger sketchbook here, this was just a quick sketch to get characters right. Here I did like another little elf type figure. I really enjoyed drawing snow, and that's it for this sketchbook. Now the next one, and this one, I started creating the grandmother character that I thought I was going to develop for this little story. So here I did like a kooky grandma. Here you can see some sketches of the grandma. Here I was doing more pigs, just, finding pigs online that I could draw, doing a little pig study. Here are just different images of I think I was very inspired by, what's her name? Tasha Tudor, I think is her name. She was an illustrator and children's book author. And there's a book of pictures of her that she lived in a very old-fashioned style. And they're just very cottagecore, you could say. So here I had looked for like different images of like older women, sewing a quilt or with farm animals. And I still really like this scene. I would like to explore that further. And then here I was just, playing around. And then I finally chose this as a final sketch for a prompt that I did. I believe it was Christmas dinner or something like that. Here I was just working it out. Here, this is just me sketching and playing around with materials. I was using the liquid charcoal, as you can see here, and playing with collage. It went more towards this direction in like the feel and the character, but definitely not collage. This is from the Emma Carlisle Patreon session with winter scenes. This is another drawing session. I did the replay. And I tend to not like to do landscapes or urbanscapes, you could say. However, so I took it very loosely and I just put down blotches of color, and then I grabbed the Inktense pencil, and I really love this Inktense pencil. This is bark. And so I did it here with my art graph, these blocks, these pigment blocks. And I just put down some blue, and I used some white, and then I grabbed the Inktense. I think it's this one. No, well, this is an Inktense pencil, but it's not the color I was talking about. And I just drew, and I had fun. And I remember during this scene, I was very inspired because I had felt really, really down with my art, and I just felt like it wasn't going anywhere and I wasn't very happy. But then drawing this mouse, this is the first time that I drew that mouse that I showed you in the smaller sketchbook. After drawing this mouse, I really wanted to continue drawing more scenes with him. And so I did. This one I'm not very happy with. However, I was very happy with just playing with color. I remember doing these washes of green was a lot of fun. And then I continued, and I really like this one. It's a very simple illustration, but I think it works so nice. And I just love the different shades on his sweater, which I kept on. Now this is back to the commission that I showed you. This is another draft, another sketch. This is not the final version, but from this, I created the final version, which is here, this one. I then adjusted certain things in Procreate, got rid of some things, added some things. But I tend to like to work first on Page and then add things into Procreate. So then here I continued with the little mouse. Remember the sketch that I did in the small sketchbook of the two characters, this one? It then turned into this. I still think I could have done a much better job with the atmosphere. I still need to really explore that more, but I really like this tree. I had previously used this tree when drawing my squirrel, which I don't think I've ever shown you. This image here, it's the same tree. It's the same one, just different stories. And I really like how this mouse turned out. I really liked how this mouse turned out with the little hearing aid, but I think that the background could have been better. Here I was doing a live where I used purely watercolor, the hybrids, and then the acrylic wash, doing 3 different birds. Now this is where things turn more to what I'm doing now and what really is driving me. I think I found an artist online, I can't remember her name, I believe it's a woman, who uses thatching for her illustrations, and it's more graphite than ink. But I have always loved ink with water, with watercolors, charcoal. I just love all of that. And so I was starting to just do some studies of portraits because it's been a while since I've drawn portraits. And I used to love it. Like I used to look for old, vintage, Victorian, Edwardian women and draw them and then add more to it, add little symbols or details or colors. And so here I did the same thing. I was just drawing them. This is me just doodling. So that's it for this sketchbook. And now for this one, we're gonna go back in time again. So here, I just did some swatches. Here I was doing the grandma. There's the grandma. And I continued doing more like winter illustrations. This was a video in December of the little boy with the reindeer. Here's the final. I mean, I added some little details in Procreate, but this is the final illustration for, I believe it was Christmas dinner. Here I did a sketch, and here's the version of it. Here I was going to do the little boy again, which I never finished. I completely forgot about it. Here was another TikTok live where I was just looking for some winter scene. And I remember here, this is around this time in this sketchbook. Yeah, because the background is really blah. Here I didn't even finish it. Here I really didn't like how any of it turned out. I mean, I did like the snowman, but that's it. I didn't like anything else. And so then I went back after doing these studies. I grabbed this one and I thought I'm just going to be using my ink pens, my uni ball pens of 0.03 in diameter, and the other one is 0.1 diameter, and I'm just going to draw. And so I did. And I drew her face and then her hair, and then I was using inks and I was using pan pastels, and it just felt it felt so good, like I was going back to something. I was exploring it. Here I was just using colored pencils. And now this is where I'm at now. So then I thought, you know what? You should use this powdered charcoal that you've had in a jar that you have not used at all, and limit yourself to using just these art graph squares. I have these, and I have the white, black, and graphite, and I'm waiting to get the brown set. I'm really looking forward to the brown set. And so I first drew out the bird, then I covered up the bird, and then I did the background. And I had it tilted, and I used Herbine ink, and I used the art graph, and I just had an amazing time. And then I continued on to larger pieces of paper, which I'm going to show you now. So this one is the first one that I did. I just grabbed a piece of, I think it's Arch's fine grain paper. Hold on, let me get closer. Arch's fine grain paper, and I sketched it out, and I went to town, and I used, I was just very free with this. I remember feeling very scared after sketching it out, but I just absolutely love it. And what I did is that I mixed the charcoal powder with the art graph pigment to create the skin tone and the shading on the face. I think it's beautiful. The next one I did was this one, which I'm still contemplating if it's done or not. This is another vintage image that I found. And I was very free when I created it. Felt so good and liberating, and I had an amazing time. And now I'm going to work on this owl, but I haven't even started it. It's just the sketch, nothing more. And here's the palette, so you can see. So here is the powdered charcoal. And then here you can see that I've mixed the yellow, the blue, and the red art graph with some charcoal. Okay, everyone, so I hope you had a great time. I wish you a wonderful 2023, and I'll see you in the new year. Bye.